Hey everyone, welcome back to the Poplar Report. Global shipping out there is taking a major hit, and it's about to get a whole lot worse. The Panama Canal is about to grind to a halt. They're going to lose about approximately 50% of their capacity for ships going through the Panama Canal. That is a big deal. Most of the ships going through the Panama Canal are either coming to or from a U.S. port. We also have Argentina having historic gas shortages. And if you said, what is the government down there doing about it? Yep, the government's behind it again. Prices jumping over 10% in one day as the country runs out of dollars and the refineries shut down. We got a whole bunch of reports coming from you guys from all over the country and all over the world about what you are seeing at your local stores and what shortages are out there. Let's jump into it. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. You guys send in your reports and we get them back out to you in a timely fashion. Please do keep sending your reports in. Use the word update on any comment on any one of the videos on this channel. That gets it to the right place and give us some sort of geographical location. We want to thank our sponsor, Genesis Gold Group, for sponsoring these videos. They help people get out of stocks and bonds in their retirement portfolios into gold, silver, or platinum coins. If you have a retirement fund that you want to see what you can do about it, there'll be a link at the end of the video to get some more information from Jonathan. If you reach out to them independently, make sure you mention this channel. That way they do waive your setup fee. All right, so this is coming from Jan. They kind of tipped me off, but now it's all over a bunch of the news places nowadays, at least the news sites that I kind of frequent. They have 93 ships waiting outside the Panama Canal, waiting to get through the Panama Canal. The longest wait times are on the largest ships, the Neo-Panamax and the Panamax Pluses. These are waiting longer than the smaller ships. Smaller ships, they can just get a whole bunch of those into one of the smaller locks, but the big ships, they're having to conserve water. And that's the real issue here. Gatong Lake just doesn't have enough water in it. And that's how they put water into the locks to get the ships up and down over the Panama stretch. And so what's going on here? So starting November 3rd, which is tomorrow, booking slots will be cut from 31 slots per day for ships going through the canal down to 25. That's a pretty big step down, but it's going to keep stepping down over the next several months until February. It's going to get all the way down to 18. Now, considering that in normal operations, it normally operates at 38 to 40 ships per day, dropping down to 18 ships per day is over 50% capacity lost. And that's not even telling the full story because they're really hurting to get these big ships through. The big ships are important to get through, but they use up a whole lot of water to get those things through, as opposed to, you know, some people's yachts and stuff like that. They can jam a whole bunch of those into one lock, one of the smaller locks. They have large locks and they have small locks. And the Neo-Panamaxes and the Panamax Pluses, they use the new big locks. And they need a lot more water to get those things going. So, and that's just what their plan is through February. They're not supposed to get another rainstorm until next summer. Next summer is when they're supposed to get more water. They had a really bad wet season this past year, under 50% of the rain that they normally get. Big problems, and this is the second year that they haven't gotten the rain that they needed. And so this is really bad down in Panama. There's all sorts of people looking for alternatives. People are starting to look at whether they can get their ships into, not to mention the fees for going through the transit of the Panama Canal has gone up dramatically as well. And down to Argentina. Things are not much better down in Argentina. They basically ran out of gas. Most gas stations running empty across Argentina, long lines at the ones still operating, and word on the street is they will be empty shortly. Argentina, it's complicated, but the government is behind it, of course. Argentina doesn't have enough dollars. They don't have enough dollars to purchase oil so that they can send it into the refineries. And because of that, the oil refineries have all shut down. When 80% of their fuels in country are processed in local refineries, and most of those refineries shut down for, you know, operations. But really what happened was the fact is the government doesn't have enough dollars to pay internationally to purchase oil. That's kind of a problem. And if that sounds familiar, that's exactly what happened to Sri Lanka. Last year, Sri Lanka ran out of dollars. They played a little experiment with their farming system where they're like, we're going to stop using artificial fertilizers. And they normally exported some of their food, and instead they had such a bad crop that they not only couldn't export any food, they had to import food, so they had to spend money on foreign capital on getting food, but then they didn't have any extra foreign currency to purchase oil with. And so they ran out of fuel, and the whole government basically collapsed, and people marched on all the government buildings and took over, and yeah, it was ugly. And what we're seeing now is Argentina is going down that same path. They don't have enough cash, foreign currency, to purchase oil to keep everyone's gas tanks filled. How long does an economy function without gasoline and diesel? How do the farms function? How does transportation function? How does anyone make any money if they cannot get anywhere? And that's exactly the situation that's unfolding in Argentina. If they don't fix this and fix this fast, they already owe the World Bank a whole bunch of money, and that's part of the problem here. They've already borrowed a ton of money, and will they be able to borrow any more? If they can't get some foreign reserves into their country soon, they are going to be going down the line that Sri Lanka just went down. Nobody wants to sell them oil, and is it any surprise? In Argentina, a barrel of oil by law is $56. Well, the rest of the world is selling oil at $86. So you want to buy some $86 a barrel oil and then go over to Argentina and sell it for $56? What? You don't want to take one for the team? I can't imagine how nobody wants to fill up a tanker full of $86 a barrel oil and then sell it to Argentina for $56. Socialists and this whole government regulating the price of goods is just insane, and yet we keep seeing countries doing it again and again and again. All right, Archie here in Southern California says decaf coffee is very hard to find. As far as unsalted butter, some days Walmart has some, other days they don't have any. Salted butter. Michael says, my company, which is Lithuanian owned, is based out of Chicago with about 300 drivers. So, trucking company. Our Salt Lake terminal was closed down last week, and now we have 3 terminals, Fountain Inn, South Carolina, Commerce, Los Angeles, and Bolingbrook, Chicago. My company has laid off 100 drivers since last year. Been with them for 3 years and noticed they make moves or preparations for upcoming events in the market. Literally was told it was going to be busy in Salt Lake, and once the Israeli thing happened, that changed. Basically, oil prices are the cause and effect on freight rates. Melissa in mid-Michigan says, we have had very little vinegar. No boxes of kosher salt for 5+ months. Dairy items are very low. Veggies seem rotten over all the shelves and looks pitiful. Potato harvest was good around me. That's up in Michigan. We are buying 50-pound bags of potatoes for $15 at the farm down the road. So that's good news up there. We're hearing pretty good things about the potato harvest across the United States. Most places it seems like potatoes are pretty good. We're waiting to get the final numbers from the U.S. Department of Agriculture, though. I'll let you know as soon as we get those. Kenneth says, went to a super Walmart in Memphis, and all the large laundry detergent was fronted. Have not seen this before. Heading to Sam's, and their meat department was over 75% empty. I'm hearing a bunch of you guys talking about empty meat departments, and I'm hearing a number of you guys say just gone, wiped out. Fruits and veggies at both stores looked fresh and well stocked. Math teacher in Greenwood, South Carolina. No Keystone, like Keystone meats, canned meats, products in Walmart for 3 months. The meat section has shrunk to about 1/4 of the aisle. Mary says, I went to Aldi and should have known that it would be a mess just by looking at the parking lot. There were no fresh pizzas in the case as you walk in the door. It felt cold, but maybe it was broken because the entire thing was barren. I wanted sweet onions, but there were none, just white and purple. I also wanted sweet potatoes, and there was only one bag plus an open bag. I need 2 of both of those items for Thanksgiving food basket. At this point, I just turned around and left. She went on to talk about how she's seeing pretty good stock at like local grocery stores, though, so she's glad she has options. So if you're not seeing what you need at Aldi or Walmart or some of these other stores, it looks like other stores are pretty well stocked. You may have to pay a little bit more at those other stores. Hughes says, Sam's Club in Waldorf, Maryland had no table salt, no round regular boxes, and nor did they have the 4-pound boxes. They didn't even have allotted space on the shelves for salt. Just a few small containers of pink salt. The Sam's Club hasn't stocked or sold gallon-sized corn, vegetable, or canola oil, cooking oil, for over a year. That may just be your area, but I think I've seen it at Sam's Club in this area for most of those things. But they did have a while where they were having trouble with that stuff. RJ in British Columbia, Canada, haven't been to Costco in 3 months. Wow, prices way up. Canned chicken, $18.99 for a quantity of 6. That's double the 2020 price. That's what we're seeing out there, 3% inflation, according to the government, but not quite exactly that, is it? A lot of the usual frozen items were few to none. Some new ones never heard of. Empty boxes where pizza once was. What's with the pizza shortage? Or maybe that's what people can afford to eat. Almost no butter, only a dozen on the shelf. And we are seeing people switching their purchasing habits. People are eating out less, and they are buying the more convenient foods. And frozen pizzas are pretty convenient. Instead of going to a pizzeria and ordering a pizza, you can just pop one in the oven. Most of us have known that for quite a while, but it's not all that much more work to make your own pizza dough and all that kind of stuff. But convenience, right? No, this is continuing on in British Columbia, Canada. No variety of canned goods. Most items not a deal, even in bulk. Most people's carts were food and not full. Not like the good old days. Walked up to a checkout on Saturday afternoon without any line, right? That's unheard of. Produce, didn't see any deals. Tanya in West Yorkshire. Someone in the UK, tell me. Yorkshire? I want to say that because of the Lord of the Rings, though, right? West Yorkshire, UK. Aldi. At least 3 of my local grocery stores have been almost wiped out of corned beef, sugar, honey, jams, and frozen pizzas for several weeks now. Although strangely chilled pizzas are almost always well stocked. Go figure. The 1 kilogram bags of all varieties of rice have been hit and miss. Sometimes well stocked, sometimes out of stock with just the more expensive boxed or microwavable stuff left. Spaghetti has also been hit or miss. The expensive varieties, no problems. But the cheaper packs at 1/3 of the price have been seriously depleted or out of stock. Soup has also been very low. Tin sardines and mackerel, low, yet tuna is fine. The ramen noodles seem well stocked, but like someone else posted, the varieties are now very limited. And this is from Sydney, Australia. Unite the World says, I shop at my local IGA every week for their weekly sales. Their cheaper brand black and gold products are disappearing fast. We're seeing that all around the world. People are moving over to generics, and there just aren't enough generics to go around. They used to have a large variety of goods in that brand, but not anymore. It's quite scary for people who are on fixed incomes because they now have to buy the more expensive items. Thank you for all your hard work, Steve, and thank you guys for all your reports coming in. And if you guys want to get some more information from Genesis Gold Group, there's a link right here. You can click right on the screen, and they just fill out the form, and they'll send you an information packet and answer any questions you have. If you want to check out another video from this channel, there's one right up here. I'll see you over there, or I'll see you guys later. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report out.